Welcome to the Final Hour podcast, coming to you from the original Living Word Christian Center out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. My name's Jim Hammond.
I'm Linnea Farrell.
I'm John Gapp.
And I am JD.
I want to thank you guys for tuning in with us today. I'm going to ask you to please, whatever social media platform you're on, please subscribe. It even helps us so much more with the algorithms if you write us a nice 4.5 to 5-star review, okay? Give us a review.
In the review section, because somebody wrote it in one of our posts, like in one of our videos, and I was like, that's great.
Explain that. There's a review.
There's a review. You can say leave a review, right, on the podcast platform, not on the video. So you would have to go to that platform's, like, to our homepage and then put the review on there.
Yes.
But it was a very nice review on the video.
And I have to say,
of how great the podcast was.
Thank you for that review. The problem is it was the wrong place. And Kansas City, man, you know, I wasn't offended at you. I'm just reminding you that I've brought up plenty of politics in church. If we go back, I've brought up when our hokey legislature does a midnight vote trying to get make the churches, our Christian school hire gay teachers, trying to make, when they're doing that kind of stuff, make our nurseries accept a 36-year-old man that wants to identifies as a 4-year-old. They try to pass legislation like this all the way through.
Yep.
When the World Health Organization, the big vote, right, that would turn our country over in a pandemic, it would make our government useless. These are the things that I've brought up. I've shown pictures of terrorists coming over the border. You know, and
not to mention being the church that pushed back against the IRS and the church that sued the government over.
Yeah, we sued the governor
COVID.
and won
on COVID. Yeah,
got churches back open. So I contend, if you're looking at the bigger churches, we do more than anyone. I know you want more, and I know that your email said Kansas City, man. I think didn't Kansas City go 0-2 now? Did they lose?
Yeah, they did.
They lost. Okay, I'm really sorry to hear about that, Kansas City, man. But anyways, listen, the Charlie Kirk thing has changed everything. So you're gonna see a pretty political sermon this weekend. We won't be on Romans, that's for sure. So things have changed because I'm not letting it go. But we didn't. I think we do more than just about outside of Jack Hibbs in California,
right?
More than most larger churches, certainly from the pulpit, more than any large church in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
So that I just was trying to say that's why we have the podcast, Kansas City Man. So we don't have to go into. You say, well, what about in announcements? Well, we have to announce our large group manhood. Ways to connect, our Marriage Matters, our alpha groups. Otherwise, people don't get connected if we don't announce them.
Right.
And so, it's like you said in your email, we differ in our opinions. I worked with Kansas City Man's wife for 15 years in Maranatha Athletics. So I'm just answering him. You're a friend. And, Patrick Mahomes does stand for all the right things.
He does.
He's not woke.
No.
I like any NFL player that's not woke.
Yeah.
Right. Secondly, Israel trip, February 2nd through the 13th. Final Hour podcast, Israel tour, but people from anywhere are welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some people out of state.
Mobile, Alabama signed up. Thank you. I'm very familiar with Mobile, Alabama. Pensacola, Mobile, spent more time in Destin, but we're talking about the Florida Panhandle. One of my, on my mom's side, we had a French Jew on my mom's side, but named Ravisi. He fought with Napoleon, and when Napoleon went down, this is the other side of my family, not the Rollo side.
We're getting a history lesson.
When Napoleon went down, he had to flee to Haiti, and my relative that came to America on my mom's side had to flee to Haiti. I guess he saw his wife and his daughter's heads. They were beheaded in front of him.
Wow.
He was able to escape.
Goodness.
And went from there. I became a very successful businessman in Mobile, Alabama. So my family history's there. He actually brought the azalea to the United States. And so, which is a flower in the South.
That's a cool.
So I'm very familiar.
footnote.
All that to say, I got a nephew and a niece that went to the Alabama, I believe it's Alabama State down there. Is it Alabama State? Mobile, at South Alabama. South Alabama. It's called South Alabama. They just up and coming college, very good college down there. So I'm very familiar with Mobile. Thank you, Mobile lady. It's a lady, right, that signed up for the Mobile trip. Israel trip. It's going to be awesome. February 2nd through the 13th. We
have 28. Yes,
23 people signed up.
we have 28 spots left on the bus.
Okay.
Once those spots are full,
That's
it's
it.
full.
That's it, right? And you just have to trust God, because I tell you what, if the tour company cancels the trip because something happens over there, you will get what? Most of your money back, but not all.
You won't. If you purchase an airline ticket, you won't get your airline ticket voucher. You will get a voucher for your airline ticket. You won't get your airline ticket money back because we can't. We're not in charge of the airlines.
No.
That's out of our control.
Yeah, so you'll
But
get.
the tour company, yes, will
They'll
get
give
your
you
money.
their portion back, right? If they cancel, okay? Otherwise, if they don't cancel, you don't get it back, okay? And people take trips on this all the time. Billy Brim's doing one, same tour company in December. Jonathan Kahn does 4 to 5 buses twice a year with the same tour company. Everybody deals with this. Pray that it all goes fine, right? Otherwise, don't sign up if you're worried about it. You're not at peace. You're not at peace, right? You got to be at peace before you do it, in my opinion. If you're afraid, if you want extra security, if you're going to write in asking for extra security, we have very little security. Honestly, we have our
bus driver's a baddie. So is the guide.
Yes, and there's never been one thing over there. Billy Brim's got 2 buses over there. They don't have a bunch of security. All right, and she's led 40 tours, 50 tours. So I'm just kind of giving you questions we're getting. If you're afraid, you should not go.
Yeah.
Okay, you should not go. There's nothing to be afraid of. Last time you guys were actually down in Gaza, were you not?
Yeah,
we were.
We drove along the fence
went
line
to the
of Gaza.
festival
We went to
where
the festival.
Israel's
7th
safer
happened.
than Minneapolis.
That is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you won't believe that. But
I mean, you aren't hearing the news about Minneapolis.
Did you
People
hear
are
about the
getting
2 mass
killed
shootings
on
on Monday? 2 mass
this
shootings.
Monday?
Yes.
Okay, last
the
week
news
there
isn't
was
reporting.
Last week there was multiple shootings, point blank. People just coming up on the street and just boom,
Capping people.
yeah,
It's disgusting.
like in the middle of the day.
the difference between
Not at 1
Minneapolis
a.m.
and Israel is Israel has their soldiers everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
And you like it that they're there.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we're going to put Daniel chapter 10 on hold here. And this, we found out when we do this is Joe Morris, End Times Update. Check out his podcast, End Times Made Easy. Every time we do this, Jerry says our views go down. So we are not doing this anymore.
Not exactly what I said.
Is that different
Well,
context?
we're looking at the analytics. You don't want to hear that? All right. I mean, so fine. You don't want to hear the times. You must know the signs then. You must know the signs, okay?
Wow. Let's take down the temperature in here.
Really, take down this. I'm giving them what they want, right?
Felt
Check
a
out the
little
book.
aggressive, and I
Sometimes
felt
they don't
attacked, and
know
it
what
wasn't
they
even
want.
me.
Felt attacked.
By the way,
It was a joke.
at
Calm
church
down.
this week, one of the Scotty 3 stopped and said hi.
Yes.
Oh yes. Cindy
Cindy Lou
Cindy, who knows a lot. I found out in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
Cool.
You know what we should do for her?
We already sent her one.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to look for the 26 translation Bible
Okay.
if we can find it. But look, thank you so much. That is the board of my fan club and my fan club all at once.
That's incredible.
Anna and Renee weren't able to
very
make
efficient.
it. I've got 3 women in Wisconsin. They are my fan club, and if you have 3, you don't need any more in your fan club. So, I mean, John and Linnea have more.
I only have one.
I don't count.
No, you've got.
I don't keep a record.
Zach and Bethany.
And
Okay, so I guess I have
their
2.
mom.
Yeah, 3.
So I got 3.
The Holy
Linnea
Trinity.
Linnea has lots of. Linnea's fan club is exclusively male.
No, that's not true.
It's only males allowed.
No, I've met some women, but let me say, I'm a very welcoming. I don't keep
Everyone's
numbers.
welcome.
I'm not keeping track of who's who in my fan club. We're all just everyone is welcome.
No,
here.
you have a president.
Well, I do have a president, but
and you have a treasurer. You don't even know who it is.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I appreciate my followers too, but I was enjoying the anonymity.
Yeah, you were, John. You were. You liked that you didn't have anybody.
But thank you.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to disappoint anybody.
I know. And now
that's the hard thing about fan clubs.
So much pressure now.
Doesn't it bother you that there's some people out there watching this like, oh my gosh, they actually have fan clubs and they think they're great? We're being sarcastic, okay? If you don't get that yet.
Well, me and John are.
So
shout out Rand.
Listen, we got a little bit different one today, and I think we're going to stay on this subject. It's eventually going to the Muslims. You need to watch, right? They're not in the news as much. I got on this when I saw my mom showed me a picture of Brussels, Belgium, being overrun by 2 million Muslims celebrating in the streets. And Billy Brim sent the post to my mom and said, Belgium has fallen.
UK too.
Yeah. These countries have fallen to Islam. Okay? Did you know that in Australia, if a transgender goes to a pastor and says, I'm having these thoughts, I'm a girl that wants to become a boy, will you lay hands on me, right, and heal me? Because I feel like I'm supposed to become a male and it's a girl. That pastor could lose everything they have, and they could lose their church for praying for a transgender.
Wow.
Just praying.
The
praying.
transgender that asked for prayer. This is supposed to be a free country, Australia. You can imagine that in America, what if we had a law like that? Because they would do it if they could.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
If they could.
That for anyone that is thinking about going transgender and goes to a pastor and says, I need prayer for this, and then they can take away your church. They will destroy you. A bunch of drag queens show up and decorate your property, and no one stops them. Right?
Speaking about that, did you hear about that comedian who got arrested when he went back to London? They arrested him because he made a comment about transgenders. Like in you can't even pray in England.
No.
Around an abortion clinic or any of that.
Well,
so like they control all these things with
they are all
fear.
they're proposing to not be able to publicly display the flag of England, the Red Cross flag.
Hey, it sounds like
they are proposing
flag.
that from the prime minister seat.
The English flag.
Oh, that guy.
The English flag. Wow. They are trying.
Come on,
so
they're lost. It's a lost country. It's just about lost.
It needs Jesus. That's
for
sure.
And trust me, this transgender thing is going to tie in with the Muslims. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're going there. All right. So listen. Jerry's got the video, the Belgium video. He's going to put that up, right? I mean, King Charles inaugurates an Islamic center praising Muslims, calling on British citizens to greater understanding of the Islamic world. And look, we're gonna, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give you a greater understanding of the Islamic world today, and I think we might continue it next week. And we're being ahead of it. I know something's coming with this.
Well,
with the Islam thing, I know it.
The crazy thing is, he's the head of the Anglican Church.
Yes, yeah, there it is.
Right.
King Charles, and so they are taking over. We know there's a city they're trying to make like Dearborn, Michigan, where it's a Muslim city, right? We've got one Muslim city, right? Where what you had something to say about
Dearborn, Michigan, last week they had displayed, which they said it went too early, that on the police badges that it was in English and Arabic. But hold on, I read something this morning because a Christian resident in Dearborn, Michigan last night spoke at a city council meeting to oppose new street signs honoring Arab Americans, okay? So, like, they were going to name a road like Hezbollah Street or Hamas Street. So the mayor told this guy who said that, the mayor's response was, you're a bigot and a racist, and you're an Islamophobe. Although you live here, I want you to know as a mayor, you're not welcome here. And the day this is to a Christian who lives in the city.
Right.
And the day you move out of this city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of this city.
This is how brave the Muslims are getting in America.
Well, the crazy thing is, they're not going to do it the other way.
No.
They'll not say, you're a Christianophobe. You're what would you call that? A Christphobe?
Right.
Whatever. They're not going to say it the other way.
No, but they're bold. Look at
Yeah.
them. They're literally.
You know what?
They have.
So bold.
Could I say that I was a phobe against them?
Yeah, you're a phobe.
Yeah, I'm a phobe. I'm
well,
Islamophobe.
the problem is
Am I Islamophobe?
No, you're
I'm
not
not
afraid
for
of.
him.
You're not afraid of your.
No, I'm not afraid
you're
of 'em.
standing against
You're
the demonic
I don't
spirit.
like 'em.
Islam. You're anti-Islam.
And I don't love them.
Yeah.
And I'm not Jesus. Should I have some more compassion? Yeah, I should. But they're trying to take over our country.
Yeah, they
And,
are.
and yeah, I'll pray for more compassion, right? But I'm not that guy, all right? And so,
But you can't. You don't have
you
to
know,
sit back and just
Take
say
it.
you got.
remember,
Just peacefully take over. No.
we
remember when
shouldn't.
they arrested Jesus,
Yep.
people overlooked this. Peter cut a guy's ear off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that guy. Okay?
Don't give Jim a knife.
No,
or
I'm
sword.
just saying. No, he wrote a book in the
Yeah.
Bible. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that I'm more from that point of view.
Sure.
I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to sit down for that.
Mm-hmm.
They are taking over our country and they're using the transgender thing to gain steam.
Yeah, they
and
are.
I'm going to explain it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about Melbourne and Sydney, right? Pastors are not allowed to pray or lay hands on people who think they need to change their sex and they're asking for prayer. America, we are the last free country. And, and we have to protect America from these idiots, okay? We have to protect it from Allah. Allah, I'm going to prove to you next week, Allah is Baal. Allah is a demon.
Yeah.
Allah is the same demon
Yep.
as Baal. I'm going to prove it, okay? And so tune in next week. A little Jonathan Cahn. I mean, I haven't heard this from Jonathan Cahn, but I know it is, right?
Yeah, right.
And we found it somewhere else. We have to protect this country from Gavin Newsom, from Bill Gates, from
WEF.
fake football coach Timmy Walsh, from George Soros, CBS Today. Today I'm watching Today. They're reporting on the Charlie Kirk assassin. Not a word about transgender. He was dating a transgender.
Yeah.
Okay, he's
Yep.
dating a transgender. He's
yes.
one of the furries. You know the furries that tell you go to Minnetonka
The
and Hopkins.
bullet that-
that dress up like animals and crap in litter boxes in the bathrooms. He's one of those guys. It was written on the bullet casing, furry. Minnesota denies all that.
You're right.
They deny that.
Well, they're
that's
just not reporting it,
That's
'cause-
no, they deny it. They deny it in debates. Oh, that's not true.
Oh, you mean about the
that's
furries. I
not
thought
true.
you were
There's
talking about
no
the
litter
bullet.
boxes in our public school
Right.
bathrooms
Yeah.
with kids, going to the bathroom in litter
Yeah.
boxes because they think they're cats. Oh, that's not true. They lie. Yes, there is. And one of those furries just shot Charlie Kirk. Okay, and so the Charlie Kirk thing. You know what makes me really sick is there's churches up here, and we always knew what they're all about, right?
The Seekers.
And didn't say a word about Charlie Kirk. And can I tell you this? Big churches,
Yeah.
because Minneapolis got a lot of big churches. Those guys are weak. And I hope this gets back to them.
But
they're weak. And I tell you what, I can sympathize with you this pastor down the road or the guy down in North Carolina with 30,000 people that doesn't have the balls to say anything, hardly anything, right? I'll tell you what, it's North Carolina, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you what, you're weak and you're going to lose your leadership position. You're going to go to the back. You're going to go to the back of the line. Right? Because and this is why I sympathize a little bit because 1/3 of your congregation is Bible believing. They're Christians that believe in transgenderism and that support gay rights, right? They're those guys. And you don't want a mass exodus out of your congregation. So you go in there and you don't have the balls to say a word. And you know what? I think you're weak. And I'll tell you that face to face. I'm sure this doesn't go out to you, but it
might.
is. You think?
Good.
Yeah.
Why
well,
not?
You're weak. Every pastor
Real.
that didn't have the balls to stand up and say something about that and what's going on the other side and how evil they are on the other side, you're weak. Okay. And wow. All right. I mean, let's get it out so I don't do this on Sunday, right? Because this is what I want to do on Sunday. And so,
Well, you can't.
if you want to see this on Sunday, come to church because you could see it.
Yeah. You can't dance on these
Topics.
topics for your own sake, for your own, worrying about your ledger. You need to stand up and be able to call a spade a spade. You got to be able to call something evil.
But do you know what? If I'm a pastor and I look at this and I look at Charlie Kirk and you watch anything he does, he speaks about God and his relationship with all that. His religion, how important it is, and then he speaks the truth, just the simple truth. If you're a pastor and you're in a position of that and you're not doing it, then you shouldn't be in the pulpit.
Well,
everything that Charlie has said and stood for is based in understanding who you are in Christ, how God has made you.
We don't need to. We know what Charlie stood for. What I'm saying is, those guys, right? Those guys that don't have the balls to say anything from the pulpit.
Yeah.
I tell you, if you lost 1/3 of all the liberals out of your church that believe that, little children should have sex changes, right? And believe in Jesus at the same time. If you lost them, I bet God would bring in more for you, right? Maybe, who knows? Maybe you don't want to lose them. Maybe you agree with them. I don't know. Maybe you're afraid to say that you agree with the transgender ideology. But, once you let this spirit in like this is Nazi Germany, early 30s. That's what you are. You're one of those pastors that didn't have the balls to say anything. Once you let this spirit in, like Australia has, the people that try to stand up, these are real stories that are happening. If you stand up in Australia like that, a Christian school, drag queens will show up on your property and desecrate your property, and no one does anything, right? Look at how Charlie Kirk's organization, Turning Point, is being persecuted in Britain right now.
Right.
About 1,000 strong. I want you to understand where we are. It's a serious spiritual war. You have to take your authority every day over your neighborhood. And if you don't, you're probably going to get attacked, okay? Over your house, over your state, personally. It's not enough to do it in a prayer group. You have to do it personally. And you can do that in 2 or 3 minutes. And, let's look at Muslim to transgender, different devils, different spirits, different fallen angels behind those things. But this is what I love about Jonathan Cahn is he gives you gives you a almost like a picture of their personality.
Right.
He tells you what they're going to do before they do it.
Right.
And because they've been around and they've done it in all other cultures. Have you see you have to see that Islam looks at the transgender war that's going on over here. And they want that.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to understand the Muslim man. I really cut my finger bad last night. I was cutting a block of cheese.
Sounds delicious.
Long story. But
was it nachos?
No, I was just gonna eat. I was so hungry. I was just in a hurry and I was gonna take a knife and I was just gonna chop off a block of it. And it bled for a long time.
It's not the right flavor for nachos, I'll tell you how much.
Parmesan cheese?
Parmesan.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it doesn't melt well either, but they don't want the Muslims don't want transgenderism in their religion.
No.
But they are happy to see it assault our culture.
Don't they execute you there if you're a transgender?
Oh, yeah, they're going to throw you off a building.
So,
they're going to throw you off a building if you're a transgender. Go over there,
stone you, behead you.
How about that? How about at the Emmys the other night? There was that actress who said "Free Palestine" and went on and on about the Islamic regime, and then they posted her, but they blurred out all of her outfit because her outfit was inappropriate. And I thought, these people, they won't even be accepted over there in the way they are.
It allows them to advance their religion.
Yeah.
All right, because they come across the Muslim men as masculine. And we don't want that. They want American men weak. The Muslims want especially the men weak. I know you guys heard of this before, but this is very clear in the Quran. It's called taqiyya, not tequila, taqiyya, where they come and they're actually portray peace. This is scriptural in the Quran.
Right.
And they portray peace to America. They say, "Oh, we want peace." Oh, listen to our awful congresswoman, right? What's her name? Omar. You think she wants peace?
No.
Did you hear what she said about Charlie Kirk? I almost want to say, what an animal.
Well,
what an animal.
Well, she's getting investigated now for her comments on Charlie Kirk.
To even say that about him.
And about the followers.
Yeah,
it was about everybody.
No, you're the animal. okay? And I'm sorry I'm not Jesus here, okay? All right? He's my Lord and Savior, but I'm saying she's the animal, all right? And they act like they've been victims, right? They lie and say you're coming in peace. We just want to worship Allah in peace. This is called taqiyya. You're allowed to lie and say you're coming in peace, and that's how you spread Islam. And when you get the numbers like you got in Belgium, like you're getting in London, when you get those numbers, you come in force. At that point, you take over, and you always come in peace. That's how they did it in France. That's how they did it in London. Now, French women are being raped, right? And the French media doesn't
100%.
report it.
Well,
Right, we have friends in France.
Right.
All right. We know what's going on in France. And we now see Australia pastors not even allowed to lay hands on the transgender person that doesn't want to be a transgender. Well, I can tell you, the Muslims love that because they're weak. The men are being weak, ripe for the taking, for the peace-loving Allah, who's really Baal, Muslim man. Let's figure this out. How can Mandani, that idiot in New York, if Jesus called the Pharisees who believed in God vipers and snakes, I can call Mandani an idiot, okay? And I can call him an idiot. He says he loves the trans, right?
Yeah.
But he's a Muslim.
Right.
That's taqiyya.
Yep.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. The Bible doesn't allow that, see?
No.
We're not supposed to do that. They do that. The minute they get the majority in a country, Sharia law will take over. Look what the guy's telling the Christian in Dearborn.
Right.
When Sharia law takes over, women don't get education. Women are raped. Women are sexually assaulted. They have to cover up their everything but their eyes because all the men aren't men anymore.
Right.
And they let them do it.
Right.
They let them have their country. And what's going on in America? We're all about peace. They're saying all we want is to live in our area.
Yep.
In Dearborn, and now we're going to get one in Texas.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they tried, but Abbott said nah.
And have a peace. Oh, that's not over yet.
It's not over.
Well, but he did
it
say-
was a first roadblock to it.
Have a peaceful Muslim city. They're lying.
They are
It's
lying.
a doctrine in the Quran called taqiyya. They want all American males to be, have a word for this, but it's politically incorrect. They want all American males
to be beta.
to be feminine,
Yeah.
Weak.
True.
wimpy,
Lacking masculinity.
afraid to act,
Yep.
right? Afraid to act like a male, right?
Betas.
Right? But guess what that does for Islam? It attracts the males to Islam. Mm-hmm. Does it not? There are males that will go to Islam. It does because Islam says we won't accept homosexuals. We will throw you off the building.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But they love it when we do. Right? I'm just telling you, they love it when we do. This is called taqiyya. It's lies. They will lie. If the press goes down to Somaliland, that's what I call it. We have a place, in Minnesota. They play the Muslim prayers 5 times a day. We're the only city in the nation 5 times a day over speakers like you would hear in an Indonesian village.
Soy boy, beta
spitting.
male.
Jacob Fry.
Leading the charge with that.
Yeah.
Started
the day George Floyd died.
Somaliland down in Minnesota. I call it Somaliland. We've got a place here in Minnesota. If you walk through a certain mall, you're in danger.
Right.
If you're white.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just saying it, right? I mean, you send woke Channel 11 down to Little Somali.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. That's Omar's, is what I call it, Minneapolis. And you know what? You know what they take the cameras? They'll tell woke Channel 11, they'll say in Little Somali, this is what they'll say. Oh, women don't have to cover up down here. Shh. No, you don't have to cover up. We believe women should be educated. Yes, we're peace-loving Muslims. That is a doctrine in the Quran called taqiyya. You better know it now. You better take your authority against that demon, against Allah, who is a demon himself. And when you see them going on in social media, this really pretty Muslim woman exploding with millions of views.
Right.
Saying, Christians, we believe in Jesus too. We love Jesus too. Allah and Jehovah are really the same God. And she gets millions of views. It's deception. It's taqiyya. It's a lie. It's a strategy. All right? It's the truth about Islam.
Right.
The truth about Islam. They're lying.
Yeah.
Are you aware that in our society right now, especially over there in Britain, France, Europe, Belgium, with all those weak, effeminate European men, do you know what happens? The masculine Muslim dude walks in. How you doing? Right? Well, maybe not that kind of accent. To the American girl, the British girl.
Right.
And she's attracted to this man because he's a man.
Right.
And he's masculine, right? Let me give you a little warning. If you're a Lutheran, Pentecostal, Catholic that is stupid enough to marry a Muslim man, I will tell you this. He will be completely different when you put that ring on.
Yep.
And you know what the next step is? Might take 6 months, might take a year, might take a year and a half. All right? He's going to bring you to Iran. He's going to bring you to Iraq. He's going to bring you to Jordan. He's going to bring you to Lebanon, and he's going to beat you up because we've seen it 100 times. And he's going to get total control over you. You have white girl, Latino girl, Asian girl, whoever it is, Christian girl who marries a Muslim, you have in their mind just become a Muslim.
Right.
You are his property. I don't care what he says to you to get you to marry him, right? It's taqiyya. It's taqiyya, right? And they gain power. And that is one of the ways they change your culture. They come in, the men start marrying, attracting, then marrying women out of the American culture, and the women don't understand. You marry a Muslim, you're considered a Muslim in their eyes. You're that man's property. Don't go to the Middle East with them, okay? Do you know that the Quran says, you guys, that you know how the Bible says we're made in the image of God?
Yep.
Okay? You know what the Quran says about us, infidels? We're made in the image of a pig or an ape. All right? That's what they think about you, is they're telling you they want peace.
Yeah.
All right? We're made in the image of a pig or an ape, not an image of God. You aren't reading anything close to the Word of God in the Quran. You're reading something that's demonic, that was written so long after Jesus Christ showed up. Jesus was here. He was gone. There ain't no Allah.
Right.
He was still Baal. All right. We're going to prove that next week.
Yep.
There wasn't an Allah.
There was not.
Even in the Old Testament, he isn't there as Allah. Muhammad's not there. All right. When King David was dominating, and archaeology will tell you that. History will tell you that. They weren't fighting Muslims. Muslims weren't even here.
There was no Muslims.
Where was Allah? He was Baal.
Yep.
Muhammad hadn't even shown up. Muhammad didn't show up for 1,500 years after King David.
Yeah.
Are you guys getting this? David was dominating the Middle East, right? Muhammad hadn't even come on the scene. Didn't even come on the scene for 1,500 years. Say something.
Who?
I'm sorry. Thanks for letting me rant for 25 minutes.
It's been.
I've got more. Say something else, right? Go ahead.
We've tried. We have.
Well, I know you've tried. That's why
It's okay. Keep
Well,
going. We don't.
Muhammad didn't even come on the scene until 400 years after Jesus.
I thought it was 600 years.
600 years.
Yeah. We've told you that.
Yep.
We've done a whole nother podcast on Muhammad.
Yeah.
Number 113.
Number one.
Podcast number 113.
He was
The truth
a
about it.
lying dirtbag and beat young women, sodomized young men,
Yeah, he was.
Married his own family.
married his own. Yeah. Married his
Sounds like
his
somebody in Congress right now.
son's wife.
6-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another
All
thing
sorts
they
of,
marry.
you can laud whoever you want, but Muhammad is
Despicable.
yeah, and so to have a religion that glorifies this it's just a sham in the first place. It has no standing in goodness at all, and you can see they are allowed to lie to get their way, and they infiltrate through lies, and they infiltrate through the choices to be humane and peaceful on the other side. They use your character against you, and that's the infiltration into a society that doesn't accept it. But it is not a religion of peace. It is not a religion of freedom, and it is evil.
The guy that thought up Islam thought it up. Didn't write down a word.
No.
His stories were passed on for generations. Let's think about the Nazis here now. Notice Hitler convinced the German culture that the Jews weren't human. Mm-hmm. They weren't completely human. So he desensitizes the German culture, and that the Jews are some type of animal.
Right.
It took 9 or 10 years, maybe 8 years. And you know what? They didn't feel too bad about killing them. Because he convinced them they were not human. Well, the Quran calls us apes and pigs. They have no problem killing you, okay? It will tell you. It's not the Bible. The Quran will tell you. It's not the Bible. We're all human beings. We're made in God's image.
Right.
That's the Bible. The Quran will tell you Christians are not human. They're the equivalent of apes and pigs.
Yeah.
It makes it a little easier to kill a non-human because they think we're non-human.
Right.
We're the equivalent of apes and pigs to them. That's what they're thinking when they're giving you their peaceful, women don't have to cover their heads lies. All right? And I'm not Charlie Kirk. And I'm not the nice guy. The Muslims look at everybody according to the Quran.
Yep.
Even the peaceful Muslims in the little city of Dearborn, right? Look how aggressive they're getting. That mayor.
Yeah, I know.
Right, the Muslim mayor. Right?
I don't know if he. I don't
They
know
have
if he's-
Arabic on their police
Yeah, they do.
badges.
They're
Yeah,
trying.
yeah.
Right. They're looking at you as an infidel.
Yeah.
I don't care how they're talking. I don't care how polite. I don't care if they're courting your daughter.
Look at the fruit.
He's going to be married to her for 2 years, take her to Egypt or Lebanon, and beat her up and get complete control of her. Let his brothers beat her up. When you look at October 7th and you get into the nitty-gritty, there are pics and videos of those poor Jewish women being gang raped, and then they cut their limbs off. They view those women as pigs.
Yep.
That's Islam. That's Islam.
Yes, the Dearborn
Are we
Muslim
doing that?
Muslim.
Are we going? Are we going into communities,
Absolutely
raping
not.
women and cutting their limbs off? No, we're not. They are. They are, and cheering about it.
And we wouldn't celebrate it.
Could
right?
the U.S. Army do that? Could they go somewhere and massacre 1,500 civilians, rape them, burn them alive, cut little children into pieces, and then celebrate in it? That's Islam.
Mm-hmm.
That's Islam. They don't view you. They don't view me. They don't view the atheist. They don't view the Mormon as people. They don't like them. But and you know what? The Mormon, the Jew, the Catholic, you're an infidel. You're a pig or a gorilla. I don't care what they're saying. It makes it much easier to kill you or throw you off a building. Okay? The Nazis didn't think they were killing humans because they'd been reprogrammed as a culture. And so sorry, I'm not sorry. Maybe I got it out of me. I can't do this on Sunday. I've got. Thanks, John. I've got it. If I do it,
If you're yelling from the pulpit,
if I do it, I've got to do it in this tone of voice.
It has to be taken seriously, though.
yes.
We're talking about your authority
Yeah.
on Sunday. You can stop this through prayer.
Yeah.
All right. You don't just have to rant on a podcast like me, but you have to stop this through prayer, and you have to say what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying what it is.
Yeah, we're not.
Will they call it hate speech? Yes.
They might.
I'm saying what it is. Yeah. I'm saying what they are.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus called the Pharisees vipers and snakes.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is much worse than the Pharisees.
In reality, Paul laid it out for us that we are not wrestling against humans. We're wrestling against principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness.
And the only way you can stand up to this is, number one, the preachers can't be quiet.
No, right, exactly.
And the body of Christ has to pray individually.
Yep.
It's not enough to go to your little prayer group once a week.
You can't let your church pray for you. Yeah. You have to take your own authority.
What did Dr. Billy say? Twice a day in Revelation 12?
Well, she does the blood at night, and she does her authority in the morning. And I had 40 hours with her. She schooled me on this stuff. In the Dead Sea. That's all. And I was like there. Remember, I was there to get stuff on Belgium actually, and the European Union, and she just kept over and over and over. And it is true. You've got to take your authority. We've got podcasts on that. We explain why you have to take your authority. We're talking binding and loosing and pleading the blood. The Christians that don't plead the blood and don't bind and loose, can I tell you, you're going to get whooped up on.
Yeah.
Whooped up on. And then don't complain to God because you were ignorant and didn't listen. Because 90% of the body of Christ doesn't do this. All right? And I don't believe that I won't go there. I don't believe Turning Point, I believe they're part of the body of Christ that they don't really, I could be wrong, but I'm talking about going at the spirit behind Islam and binding it in the name of Jesus. Loosing you from your assignments. Any spirit that will come against Minneapolis, St. Paul, the state of Minnesota, behind the transgender spirit, behind the violence, behind the murder, the mass murder, the sexual assault, right? Behind the lawlessness. We bind you in the name of Jesus Christ. We loose you from your assignments. You get out of Minnesota. Can you do that? That took 45 seconds. Can you do that?
Right.
If everyone just did that. And I know, most of the body of Christ doesn't believe this.
Right.
This is scriptural. This is scriptural. So,
yeah.
I'm so mad. Okay, go ahead, Linnea.
Oh, are we doing the news?
Yeah.
Okay, so yesterday, Senator Chuck Grassley said that there's an FBI whistleblower who came forward during Biden's administration time. It was something called Arctic Frost. Now, this group, watch the dog, was politically investigating people under Trump that worked with Trump closely, like Republicans, right? They targeted 92 Republican outlets that were for Trump during this time. One of them being Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at, and I don't know if you've been watching the news, okay, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. They're like twisting things he said, right? Charlie Kirk, they're calling him a racist.
Over.
They take video clips, and it's not like the whole clip, right?
No.
That's like taking a Bible.
Out of context.
Yes. Okay, but they targeted these groups, and Charlie Kirk, I don't know if you guys saw Stephen Miller talk on the Charlie Kirk podcast yesterday, or Monday with JD Vance, and he said that Charlie Kirk's last text to him was, "We have to go after everyone who is involved in donating and supporting the Biden family." So he knew that these groups were out to get him, but it didn't come out yet in Congress, right? Until the Chuck Grassley guy just brought it forward this day. And then Senator Josh Hawley, who was on Fox News last night, who I love, he said that the FBI under the Biden administration was trying to intimidate Charlie Kirk. Yeah. So you look at all this, right? And you look at how everybody painted him and called them fascists and called everyone who voted under Trump fascist, and then he gets shot, right? And one of the bullets had the word catch fascist, right, on it from the transgender murderer. And you're like, these guys are saying, we don't have blood on our hands. This is an atrocity. We don't agree with this. But you have people on the right calling out these people. I can't think of the guy's name who was on CNN, and he went off on them, and he's like, "What? Do you know what his name is? You know who I'm talking about?"
Yeah, the one conservative that's always on the panel.
Yes, and he was like, "This is your guys' fault because you guys painted a narrative of the right, and you lied to your people, and you all say it. You all kept saying the same words, the same words, the same words. So you're responsible for this. You're responsible for the hate that this spewed. So you have Charlie Kirk's murder. I don't even want to say the kid's name, but I'll say he was a they call it a trantifa, okay? A trantifa leftist. So this is a mix of transgender and Antifa mixed together.
The guy that you see on his picture is all over the place now.
Yes.
Right.
So this
He was dating a transgender.
He was dating a male who was transitioning to a female, transgender. His parents and family members have said over the last year he got totally left radical, was talking to family members at a dinner how he hated Charlie Kirk, wanted to kill Charlie Kirk, and he said some hate can't be reasoned with. Some people can't be reasoned with. The only thing, like, right? So he's saying, like, I can't even reason with him. The only thing I can do is kill him. Now you have this guy who wrote...
Scott Jennings is the guy
yeah,
from
Scott
CNN.
Jennings, phenomenal. Okay, but you have the bullets that he used in this assassination of Charlie Kirk. They had transgender and furry ideology written on the bullets. Okay?
The Charlie Kirk assassin.
Yes.
Furry.
Who was romantically involved with a transgender man.
Transgender man.
Oh, wow.
So, like...
They're going to hide that.
Yeah.
Have you heard that anywhere?
Not
I haven't
on
heard
the-
it anywhere.
Not on the Today Show this
Right.
morning. Not
Nothing.
a word.
Not a
Of
word.
course not.
Not a word.
Of course not. Okay. So not only did you have that, but you have this guy, the killer, making comments on a chat called Discord.
Yep.
He was texting people. They said he communicated to over 20 people what he was thinking of doing, and then what happened after, right? He was like confessing on these chats what he just did. And fine, right? Like kids say things, like everybody has it. But 20 people that you're making comments to, and it looks like he purposefully sent text messages
Yeah.
to his partner,
Yeah.
which his partner obviously knew, right? They said he
Yep.
left a little sticky note underneath it saying, I killed Charlie Kirk or something on the keyboard before he left his house, and then said, go check the keyboard. Just like so many things, right? So you have this kid who's like in this deep, dark internet culture, and in like the darkest place of the internet where you can't. Have you ever like flipped on any of those like gaming chats that kids are on? And some of the comments that, like, my son plays video games with other people, and he's like,
Yeah.
some of the things that people text and talk about in that chat
vile.
is so vile and dark.
Yeah.
You even had Roblox the day
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk died.
Oh, yeah.
They had 20,000 people like creating a world where like Charlie Kirk was getting assassinated in it, and Roadblock said, "Oh, we didn't know about this." Like, bull crap, you don't know about that. Your board like scans things. When COVID was happening, you could tag anybody who said the vaccine,
Right.
but you can't look
Right.
on your platforms and see that there's violence being spewed out everywhere.
Right.
So like, don't tell me that kid wasn't indoctrinated by the left wing crazies who had all these comments and like, fine, he was
Right.
possessed by a demon. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of comments out there that it's a major conspiracy theory and Israel's really behind the Charlie Kirk assassination. It's Mossad, right?
Yeah.
First of all, Charlie Kirk's pastor came out and was like, because Candace Owens
Yeah.
is really into it. And he's like, Candace, you're a friend of Charlie's. Like,
Right.
please stop. Just stop using your platform for clickbait.
Right.
And you spoke to the transgenders family yesterday, and like, respect your friend who died. Like, I'm sorry. I'm more of the mindset like, this guy was crazy, just like the guy in Minneapolis
Right.
who shot up
Possessed.
the school. You're possessed
Possessed.
by demonic spirits.
You want me to show you in
behind all that.
Romans 1? I'll show you in Romans 1 who it
Well,
is.
like when we were doing the Jonathan Kahn,
Right.
the gods series,
Right.
what was the transgender god?
It was,
The demonic spirit behind
Ashtoreth.
Yeah.
Ashtoreth
That is
in
what
the
is
Bible.
behind all this.
Or she's called Ishtar in the Babylonian.
Yep.
The Romans had her as Venus. Yes, she is
Aphrodite.
she is the demon. She is the demon that has been around for thousands of years.
yeah, so I look at this and I think,
And there's songs. Archaeology has found songs about her in these cultures saying she turns males to females. Like
Yes.
they're singing praise songs to her because she was cutting off male genitalia and dressing them up like women thousands of years ago. It's the same demon. That's what I love about Jonathan Kahn.
and then you add this into what Jim just talked about today, right? Transgenders, and then in come the Muslims. Like, don't tell me this isn't a demonic spirit, right? We talked like 3 weeks ago that transgenders are they're 0.8% of the United States population. That's less than 1%.
Yeah, less than there's
Like-
2 point something million transgenders.
Yeah, it's-
700,000 of them are children. All right, look. My point is, I'm not going to be quiet.
No, we
and
shouldn't.
I only know one way to do it. Right, I can't sit there calmly and like Charlie Kirk.
No, we
right?
don't.
I'm more of a in your face. That's the way it is. Yes, I love Jesus. I believe he died and rose again for me. right? And I'm going to do the best I can. I know I'm not perfect, but I don't want the Muslims in here, and I don't want the transgender ideology in here. And I'm going to say it again and again and again. And they can say I hate all I want. I'd love for those people to get saved. I'd love for them to come in church and raise their hand, right? That's great. But you know what? I'll never preach. I'll never back off in preaching against that ideology.
Sure.
No.
Or Allah.
No.
Never.
Never.
Because I'm afraid. And you've got people have to stand up. The church has to stand up.
Yes. I don't think that they expected after this. I don't think people realize how deep Charlie's like content and his like, I don't know, persona went. Like it went to like 13-year-olds to like leaders in other countries. We talked about that last week in our opening. But okay, so as of last week, before Charlie Kirk got murdered, he had 1,100 between college and high school chapters of Turning Point USA, right? That's like you get involved in the chapter in your area.
Is.
So let's say you're in college, right? Like my kids' college, their actually chapter was highlighted on Charlie Kirk's Instagram last year. So Turning Point USA, they teach you all of the basics of the Constitution. They teach you right and wrong and like the truths Charlie was speaking about, transgenders, about what's really going on in the government, who's behind things, what we believe, why we believe it,
the right to
abortion,
life.
What a woman is, all these things, right? They teach you.
What is a woman, Linnea?
What else? So many things. But Charlie Kirk was. Well, I don't want to go into it because it'll take too long. But I'm saying Charlie
is
Kirk,
a human adult.
He would give
female. Oh, hi.
Charlie Kirk says you can't say what is a woman was saying it's a woman. That's what he was like arguing
well,
this one woman.
That was always his.
Okay, so he just unplugged me, I think.
So what? Let's keep it on. Let's roll it. Put it back in. Can you?
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
All right.
So after Charlie Kirk got assassinated, he just told his team 2 weeks ago, you guys, that he wanted 35,000 high school chapters, and they're like, okay, Charlie, we literally have 1,200 chapters right now. Okay, so after Erica Kirk, who did her phenomenal speech, she did not have to get in front of the camera and speak to anybody, but she did. And let me tell you, if you didn't watch her speech, you need to go back and you need to listen to it because wow, I feel like she's the reason it like spurred this like huge movement of like, we're getting involved now. We're tired of this crap.
Yep.
So as of yesterday night at 9 p.m., Turning Point USA tweeted out that they have received 27,000 new college chapters. So that means 27,000 inquiries that they want a Turning Point USA chapter open in their college. And you had 26,000 high school chapters. Like, you guys, that's insane. That's absolutely like an upturn of like, what is that, 45,000? You're really good at numbers. No, 54,000, I think it is. Okay. So that's amazing.
That is awesome.
But I will say this, because we're going to talk about this. So, good for you. If any of you did that and you're still doing things, like I had family members who called me who are like, I never like really listened to him before. Now I've like listened to everything. His podcast is #1. I don't think if the devil knew that this was going to happen, maybe he wouldn't have really assassinated Charlie Kirk. You had 1 million people show up in London. You have revivals going all over the place, right? You have people said their churches were packed this weekend. Packed. They said people they haven't seen in 15 years were coming back to services. Like, good. That's what should happen. You should turn to truth. Do you have something you want to say before I move on?
I'm just saying what happened here is Romans 8:28. We know that all things work together for good. All right. Like,
yes.
Look at what happened. I mean, he was a martyr and the church was built. I heard Billy Brim say this in Acts. The church was built on the blood of the martyrs.
Absolutely.
All right. And look what happened here. We know that all things work together for good to them that love God.
Yep.
To them who are called according to his purpose. This thing
his wife
exploded.
said that.
This thing exploded. The main thing is we cannot, and the body of Christ cannot be quiet here.
No.
Like the guy in North Carolina and the guy down the road. And so many people up here, so many pastors up here, so many seeker churches up here, right? So, let them seek. You seek, right? You're going to go to the back of the line. I think in the spirit, I really believe it. They're going to lose. They're going to lose their leadership in the spirit, right? If they're not going to stand up.
They've got a call to
right?
lead.
It's too bad. Look, if you did it, I'm talking to the pastors that are afraid to do it because 1/3 of your congregation believes everyone should be able to be a transgender and the parent, a little kid, should be able to make that decision. If you come against that ideology and you lose 1/3, let's say you have 1,500 people and you lose 500, God will replace those 500 people.
100%.
Guarantee He'll replace those 500 people and give you more.
You're rarely going to bring light to their minds if you don't say anything.
Yeah.
God's going to give you the words to say.
Right. And I'm so thankful for my father, right? Because Living Word has for 45 years, and we used to shake our heads in the 90s going, why is he saying that about the liberal left? He doesn't need to say that about liberal left. Yeah. Right. He doesn't need to bring in Michelle Bachmann. He doesn't. He doesn't. Right? And can I tell you this? Now, everybody, he doesn't hide what we are.
No.
So we say what we've always said, what we are. We've always spoken up, and you know what that's for? Such a time as this.
Right.
For such a time as this. So we are in a good position here at Living Word because everybody knows what we are.
Yep.
We've never been quiet, right? If a transgender or a gay person comes to our church and they don't get saved, they generally don't stay long.
Well,
because we don't hide Scripture. All right, we don't hide Scripture. All right, and I'm not sinless. I'm not perfect. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect.
None of
but
us.
I don't believe in gays getting married. Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. I don't believe that. All right. In that, and that's where that started in the 90s. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
And now everyone's afraid to talk about it. You're so hateful. You're not allowed to say you don't agree with that. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, Charlie Kirk said it, and they killed him because they couldn't beat him in debate.
No, that's
they couldn't beat him. They don't have a Charlie Kirk.
They do not. No. They're Charlie Kirk.
They're all just.
That's why you got to pray for the ones we have. Ben Shapiro.
Yes,
these guys are huge. These debaters.
Yeah.
Who's the other one? Walsh.
Matt Walsh.
You have to cover these guys in prayer, right?
Yep. Michael
because
Knowles.
Their jobs just got bigger. Well, there's a female, right? What's
Megyn Kelly.
Megyn Kelly. The people that stand up, that are vocal. You've got to cover these people in prayer.
Riley Gaines, Allie Beth.
Because they may not be covering themselves.
Right.
They may be part of that Christian. Most of Christianity doesn't believe you need to plead the blood of Jesus, doesn't believe you need to bind and loose. Right. But they're still so effective. Cover those leaders. Cover Jack Hibbs.
Yeah.
Cover Jack Hibbs every day in prayer, please.
Jack Hibbs is a force. Speaking of Jack Hibbs, California, remember we talked about the bill AB 495?
Yeah.
Well, it passed. So now it has to go through like legislation. That was the bill, remember, where you could print off a form from the government website in California and you could put a little kid's name on it and you can turn that in and then you can become
You can be the legal guardian
guardian for the child, right?
Temporary legal guardian status.
That was to protect all of the illegal immigrants' children, quote, from ICE raids, right, happening in California. But, okay, so you need to pray for that. That's Bill AB 495. We talked about it extensively.
AB 495. You can pray that down even from here. Look, California has more of a responsibility. Those Christians, because that is their location, but you can still, you can go support. At that from here and have an effect and push the demonic forces back. But you have more power over your neighborhood and your location, actually.
Yes.
And your own children.
Yep. Every time I go to California, I pray. Okay, but Omar Feta, you guys, I think this is interesting because KARE 11 is investigating. I was kind of impressed with. I was impressed with KARE 11 and Channel 5 locally the last few weeks, with this.
I know, yes, but.
Well, they can't not say anything now.
Yeah, they can't say anything. They can't not say anything because they're going to look. Number one,
horrible.
they've got establishment Dems in their.
Of
their
course
leadership.
they do,
So
but they can't because you know why? Under Tim Walz, who's now running for his third election as governor, under him, you guys, $1 billion worth of fraud. So that's feeding our future.
At least.
They were doing autism clinics, housing stabilization services scandal. Remember I told you, you're a Muslim, we give you $1,000, turn that into the city, rent your place. Even places from Ohio writing checks to Minneapolis to rent out our place to Muslims in Minnesota.
Or illegal immigrants.
Yes, but I just know because it was literally like a Muslim man.
Somali Muslims.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, Somali Muslims.
You dealt with that personally in your own house?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so under this, you can't ignore the $1 billion of fraud under Tim Walz. So I think that's why KARE 11 and Channel 5 have to do it. But Omar Feta, who remember the Democratic Party We talked about this a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
they did say there's fraud in the election, and we are removing his candidacy because of all the fraud, right?
Right. Oh.
The legal votes. What?
No, I thought it was the person that we called an animal a few minutes ago. But
Alon Omar.
Yeah,
well, that was.
Look, let's not take that out. What did she call Charlie Kirk?
She said that Charlie Kirk was spewing racist remarks, and he's Dr. Frankenstein, and just like Dr. Frankenstein got shot in the neck, so did he.
Yeah, well, she, I'm standing by what I said.
Ethical
I'm not.
board.
She is. She's demonic. She's a demon.
Demonic.
She's a demonic. She's
coming in the. What do we say? What's the term you said all day?
She's an enemy.
Takaya?
Takaya,
yeah. That's what she's doing, you guys.
She's not even. She's really kind of speaking the truth.
Well, now she is.
Yeah.
Because she can, because she's been in this position
because she's got her little
3
Somaliland
years.
down there that you're not allowed in there if you're white. You get mugged if you go down there and you're white. Let's just say what it is.
Yeah.
Let's just say what it is.
Minneapolis police can't go in there.
Right. No, they don't want to, and they can't. But
Minneapolis.
We started with defunding the police, right?
Yeah.
And then it allows them more liberty and more whatever.
Yeah,
okay,
we're not being quiet anymore. Sorry.
I don't think we ever were quiet.
Well, we're going to be louder. I hope we don't lose listeners here.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Frank Forrest, musician?
Yeah, Forrest Frank.
Yes. He ended up losing 30,000 members because he made a comment. He was like,
fine.
If you didn't know I was a Christian and you were listening to my music and you're offended because I'm saying you just martyred somebody who stood for the right things, then I don't need you on my side.
He'll get him back.
Of course, I'm not. These people
He'll
don't
get
even
him back.
care.
And that's what he said. He's like,
I don't care. Who cares if you don't come back?
No. You're talking about people's livings, and that's why I was telling about these pastors. That's why they don't have the guts, because 1/3 to 1/2 of their congregation are
they're afraid.
Pinky-fingered, transgender believing communist believers, right? And they won't stand up against it. They won't tell them they're being deceived because they're afraid of losing their people. And that's the same as I just said for this guy. God will replace those people and bring you more.
Right, but these people are saying I don't even care if that happens. I make enough money. I'm not worried about whatever happens. Okay, so he's being investigated for ethical concerns about housing bills, which happen to be tied to his wife's company. So the House Stabilization Services, which we said is one of the $1 billion of fraud under Tim Walz, is the Medicaid program under the state's Department of Human Services. This is a fraud-ridden administration.
100%.
So what they do is they say we need money. They give him money. So Omar's wife somehow is tied into this. It's all coming out. It isn't here yet. But they said that this isn't even one of the top 5 scandals that he's involved with. He's also involved with Feeding Our Future, the adult daycares. Remember I told you if they say they have an adult daycare and they put it on the first level of a building. Remember, I was telling you that.
That was the Somali
Somalians.
Scam.
But I have a friend personally who owns buildings, owns a building down there.
Yeah.
Who this Somalian guy came in and is like, I can give you $10 million cash for your building right now. And the guy was kind of like, what? And he was like, all I have to do, he tells this guy, this building owner, all I have to do, because I'm Somalian, is say that my first level is an adult daycare center. The state of Minnesota, I think it was $90,000 a month they give them. Then they have this high rise of, I don't know, let's say 30 apartment buildings. They can fill those apartment buildings with other Somalians for free.
Other Muslims.
Who are Muslims.
For free.
Who also get money from the state. Remember I told you I worked at Sweet Martha's, and when I was there, they would have these debit cards that would have $30,000 cash on it, right? That are from the state of Minnesota that they would swipe, right?
And and the illegal immigrant, not just Somalis, right?
Right, but I'm just talking about this is personal because it's a Somalian guy.
All right, let's explain this.
Okay, go ahead.
In case she was working at the state fair at a cookie thing.
Sweet Martha's.
And these Somalis, mostly Somalis,
yes,
would have these
only
cards
Somalis.
where they're given cards, right, by the government, where they're paying for the cookies.
Yeah, they're all from the same bank.
Right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
But some of them you'd swipe it, and I remember these kids being like, "Oh my gosh, there's $54,000 in his balance."
Yeah.
There was, and I started to hear this. It was maybe this is my first day, right? 10 people. I heard it the whole way through, right, all the way through, so much money on these debit cards.
These Somalis,
that's the scandals we're talking about.
Look,
that's
we want to make sure you get this. These Somalis would have $54,000 $10,000 on their balances when they're buying cookies, or $15,000. The average American has like $2,000 in the bank.
Not even you guys,
Okay,
like
all
the
right.
average Minnesotan family that you'd see come up, they'd be like, "Can we get a cone?" They're like $9.
Mm-hmm.
These Somalian people were I'm not even lying. They'd buy like 10 buckets of the cookies. Like, and you're just looking at these other families and you're like, that's so sad. Like, I'm going to give you a bucket for free. So anyways, so Omar Feta is being looked into and Care 11 is investigating. I'm like, good.
Ooh, Karen.
Well,
You
hey,
have caught the
it's
ire
a-
of Care
It's
11.
about
What a threat.
I'm
What a
just,
threat
I'm
they
just
are.
trying to find a positive in all this.
Yeah, Care 11. All right, so look, but it has to be prayer. It has to be the binding and loosing. It's called taking your authority.
Wait, first,
All right, and then
you
quickly,
text-
as we're closing today,
spill the beans.
look,
That's the tagline. Flip it.
spill the beans.
Yeah, coffee beans. That's funny.
You know,
like,
so
It is.
our midnight,
It's good.
It's
our
catchy.
I like
midnight,
it. It is catchy.
Our midnight listeners, we have a few because we download at midnight.
yeah, we do.
Upload it.
The very first email to if you want the coffee, it only goes to the first. This is a giant bag
In the subject line,
of Velvet Hammer coffee.
Velvet.
This is what we drink in the office.
a la Brian Solo.
We drink
Yes.
Velvet Hammer. All right.
Yep.
I'm sorry for the ridiculous bag. That's half the reason we're giving it away, because the bag is stupid, but it's full of coffee. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do this every day?
I might.
Well, I mean, most people
into
pour
your
it
filter?
into a container.
Okay. Well, my container. You're gonna do just doing that in a container is annoying. Okay. All right.
Way
look.
to sell
Jim's
the
all about
giveaway.
convenience.
Way to sell the giveaway.
So write spill the beans
It'll
in
still
the
sell.
subject line. The
It'll
first one
sell.
who says it gets
All right.
it.
All right.
Spill
And
the
we've got one of the classic Armor of God necklaces.
Arm yourself.
All right. You need to arm yourself with the word, not a necklace. But hey,
Ready.
you're wearing the word on
We
you.
only have one necklace, so you got to say
Yeah, one necklace. What do you say, Linnea?
bling.
Give me that. Give me that necklace.
Give me that bling.
Right. And we've got 4 Armor of God coins. So we're giving
That's 3.
3 Armor of God coins. Okay. So the first 5 emails, you have to specify what you want. If you want the necklace, all right, and you're not the first necklace that to email in, you get a coin.
You can
It's
only win one. You can't put
Right.
it in for all 3.
It's the first 5 emails. So all our midnighters are gonna,
but
So is
sometimes
spill the
not.
beans the only
Coffee.
tagline?
For
Or the only
coffee.
coffee?
If you want the
Okay.
coffee, maybe you don't want the coffee.
Then don't
But
say
if you,
spill the beans.
first one to say spill the beans gets the coffee. All right. First 5 that email in, right? Necklace. We got 3 coins, 1 necklace, right? And 1 thing of coffee.
Spill the beans.
Are we being clear enough?
Can
we couldn't be any clearer. If
Bonus-
you can't understand that, then
bonus
you
points.
don't write in.
bonus points for spill the beans if you can actually spill some beans in your email too? They give us a little something.
I like the tea.
Yeah.
Send some.
I don't drink coffee.
Jim
I
doesn't
thought
get
it was
that.
good.
I'm just sweaty.
Pastor John drinks coffee. He thought it's good. So
Look, this is called Velvet Hammer. I mean, the bag itself is what? Does that say $22? We get it. Obviously,
22 kilos.
we're buying it in We're buying it in bulk. Okay.
I don't
doesn't
know what
matter.
the 22
It's-
means.
No, it can't. But this got to be more than
It
22.
is.
dollars.
It
It's
is.
more than
This
22
is
ounces.
5-pound bag.
Yeah.
I think that bag's like $60.
Yeah, this is like a $60 French press.
You can
Velvet
find
Hammer.
Velvet Hammer online. It's good stuff.
It's actually called European Rotisserie now. They changed their name. So
Hey,
it's premium,
made in Le Center, Minnesota.
local.
Yes.
It's
you
good
go.
stuff.
It's what we drink in the office. People come down just for it. It's a little
do.
bit on the strong side. Velvet Hammer.
Strong coffee,
So-
strong conversations.
First five emails, right? To email in.
Spill the
Okay.
beans.
thanks for tuning
If you
in.
want the coffee,
I wouldn't-
just say spill
well,
the
you can
beans.
spill the beans anyway. I will read all those emails.
Yep.
Okay.
It is funny.
Listen.
I do read all the emails.
She
Anyone
does.
who writes in, I
Yes.
read every single email. every single email I
And,
read.
and you know what? Honestly, I read 75% of. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
75%.
And I read all of them that Linnea sends
That's
me
true.
pictures of.
I do. I just sent you a picture of someone who said something nice.
Think about the Israel trip. Tours are over there right now. Tours go on over there all the time. It's not about the danger. The danger will be covered, right? We pray. You can pray for that Israel trip. You can bind and loose for the Final Hour podcast, February 2nd through the 13th Israel trip. There can be no one will get sick if you cover it. No one's going to the hospital. There's no food poisoning. Nothing's happening to the bus. All the hotel rooms are perfect. Your luggage doesn't get lost. We cover this stuff. You can do this. There's power in prayer.
Yeah.
Your plane doesn't get held up, right? Mm-hmm. Your plane is safe. Absolutely. There's no wackos on your plane, right?
Wackos.
This is at least I do.
Absolutely.
I accuse them all the time of not, right? Doing that, don't I?
Such a self-righteous man.
You guys aren't praying at all, are you?
I get that like 3 times
Are
a day.
you praying for this?
Yes.
Right, so.
I have a very good relationship and connection with the Father.
Yes, she does. Her prayers get answered all the time.
I get attacked for not, and I'm like, what?
No, but because I can tell when you're not.
I pray every day. I don't know what you're
but I'm trying to get like my stuff in there.
Well, I pray
Like
for stuff when I
tour.
feel. I do pray for the Israel trip. I'm on it.
Okay, so.
Your personal requests?
Yes.
Does anyone have a personal prayer request? Remember those days?
No,
and
we're
you'd
not
be
doing
like,
unspoken. Can I give you an unspoken? I've got an
Sometimes
unspoken.
I would do that just because, like, I don't know.
Popcorn.
Yeah, like if you didn't want to
I
say
know.
what it was,
Popcorn
you would
lemonade.
say.
I did it too. As a child, I did it too. Ridiculous. Somebody should have spoken up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I did say exactly what it was, and I was like, that's why I say unspoken.
Right.
Use your prayer request. Used
And dear
against
Lord, I just pray for Linnea's unspoken, that whatever she's not speaking, that you would take care of. I guess
Give
that's
her
how you
the-
pray for that.
That's basically.
Okay, that's how you.
That
That's
brought
how
me
it would
back to
happen.
high school.
Right.
MCA
Listen,
all the way.
Lord,
That's-
you know.
Listen,
You got
He
it.
does, but
He does. I didn't want the kids in my class to know, but the Lord, I wanted to know.
what were you praying about?
if you're
I
number,
know what I was praying
if you're
about.
number 2, and if you're number 1, you say you don't want the coffee, or you're number 2, you're getting the necklace, unless you say you don't want the necklace, right?
No.
That's
False.
not
Spill the beans is the only thing for the coffee. The give me that bling is the only one for the necklace. Give me that coin are the only 3 for the coins. 3
me that.
But
different
what
things.
if they're number 2, and they said, "Give me the coin"? Then they give them a coin and not the necklace.
Yes.
Okay. Because they may not want that. So it's give me that bling if you want the necklace.
Yeah. Because how am I supposed to know if Roger writes in and says, give me that coin, I'm going to give Roger the necklace?
Raj.
Maybe he
You
wanted it
should've-
for his wife.
you should've
Well, we've got
communicated
more
better.
coins. So if we don't get a request for the necklace, then we can just give them coins.
But
right?
not right now.
Well, we only have 3 coins. We're not doing that.
Look, we don't even think there's more than 3 of you up at midnight anyways.
Actually, that's not true because when I check
When I
the
wake at
podcast at 5:30, there's like sometimes
75,
75, 130 people.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know Jessica stays up till midnight and watches it.
I think
Jessica Eiler?
Yes.
I just saw her at church.
You told me. Okay,
Yes.
that's really annoying. That is in your
On
face.
YouTube, there's about 20 people who stay up. And they
There's
watch
more.
it within the first hour.
Yeah. See,
Well,
thank you.
Thank you. I seriously believe after today we don't deserve that, but we're airing it anyways.
Why?
No,
Why? we
I
can
just-
be passionate.
Look,
and
I'm
have
not. We're
right-
not. You know, every
holy
week I
righteousness.
go off a little bit, and I call Jerry.
Yeah, you need to eat a snack or something before you come on the podcast. Like grab
Yeah,
a bag of
sometimes that is the
Doritos.
Get a
problem.
Snickers.
Sometimes that is the problem. But yeah, I haven't eaten today either.
Exactly.
But look,
Like whoa, we're
we're not.
spitting for a while.
Let's just see what happens. Let's let this fly. Let's not edit any of this. Right.
We got
All right.
strikes to use.
You know what? Speaking of strikes, somebody wrote in about the podcast and he
Yeah.
said, "Do we have to get the marinara?" Like he was being funny, and I had to think a second. Like
Yeah, that
marinara,
was a long
and I
time
was
ago.
like, "Oh my gosh, yes, that was the vaccine. That was our word. Thanks to John, the marinara."
And the guy that asked about the marinara, we're not getting in a bus accident over there. You can cover a bus accident. If someone, nobody's getting hit in a bus.
Can I say
on
something?
our tour.
We're on a
okay?
private bus that is not for the public. It's just ours.
It's so safe, guys. Really don't worry about it. You're walking around Maple Grove. It's safer in Israel.
Yes.
Seriously.
Then Maple Grove. You got to keep your head on a swivel more in Maple Grove than you do in Israel. All right. So, take your authority.
Especially if you're at Maple Grove Junior High.
Look, the only way we're going to hold it back in Minnesota is everyone does it individually.
John, that's really annoying.
The only way we're going to hold it back in Minnesota is if everyone takes their authority individually. Thank you for tuning into the Final Hour podcast. God bless you.